Welcome everyone to another wonderful episode here at Does Podiatry. This is a really great but unfortunate case. We have a young gentleman who was born actually in Nicaragua, and he was born with these congenital structural deformities, right? ¿Qué edad tienes ahora?
67.
He's 67 years old. He has had no previous surgeries for these structural deformities during his lifetime. This is probably one of the most striking cavis, right? Cavis, plainness, flat feet, high arch. Probably one of the highest arches, right, that I've seen here in the United States of America. We usually historically see these types of clinical presentations when we go on trips to other places of the world, where you see a lot of these congenital deformities. But the right, mueve el pie para arriba abajo, so he can actually move the right one a little bit, right? It's kind of like stuck, right? The ankle is stuck, but on the left, excuse me, he can't even move it, right? He can't move it. And 2 years ago, this is really unfortunate. So these are coming around here. So 2 years ago, he was seeing another podiatrist, and I guess he had a callus because of the structure. You see his foot from the top. His foot is totally sideways, completely sideways, you see? And it's stuck. So he basically walked, or was walking also on the lateral column. And what basically happened was, he used to build, have this huge callus build up. Went to the podiatrist nicked them by mistake. And that's what led to the development of an ulcer, which led to the development of the amputation of the fifth ray. See, he's missing the toe and the ray. But I don't know, he's got this ginormous, look at the size of this callus. It's huge, huge. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to debris the callus. He's using definitely custom molded boots, actually. But this is huge. So we're going to go ahead and we already applied a little bit of 3-weed to the area, nice and soft. It really is, a shame that. That's why, when we talk about, diabetes, vascular disease, we have to be extremely mindful about, when we debris these lesions. I've posted several videos in the past. There's a point where you need to just stop debriding the callus corn or the IPK, because if you take too much off this tissue, right, this will break down. And people have always, sometimes they challenge me and they say, well, you should have removed even more. Problem is that if you remove too much, it will, right? All the weight will land once again here and it will break down. That's the problem. So we just want to be very, very, very careful. Right? And a lot of people ask me, well, how do you know when to stop? You just know. After doing this so many years, you kind of just know, right? It's like a huge pancake. It's nice and soft, but you can actually feel the bone right here. That's when you do a partial ray resection, that's the remaining portion of the bone that they left behind. What they should have done was also address and try to straighten out the foot a little bit and make it more flexible in nature. He's got all this over here as well. Let's take a little bit of this off as well here. Being very careful. A lot of people ask me why I don't use a blade handle. I have more control over the blade. doctor's preference, right? I can feel much better what exactly I'm doing, right? Okay, so that's really good. Let's go back here a little bit. Just trying to feel where there's still a little bit of callus left here. It's like filleting. Just feels great though. The area feels really nice. We're going to recommend a urea-based cream as well, or an ammonium lactate, something mild. But ultimately, this is a structural issue, which we're going to discuss. And again, there's conservative therapies, right? Which is what he's implementing now. Then we can always, you know, stage it using our minimally invasive techniques. And we'll leave it at there. We'll do a little bit here, clean this part up a little bit here. Super. You know, the goal is to, you know, well, eventually, and again, you know, when I push the foot and the ankle up, that it doesn't go more than this. So his foot is basically like this, not like this, right? It's like this. So every time he walks, he's walking like this. My concern is that eventually it will break down again. God forbid, right? But he's got these, you know, these custom molded shoes with insoles, but it's striking. I mean, look at this. Unbelievable. I'm really surprised that he doesn't have any. You know, he has a lot of fat pad, but no calluses here. Everything's coming to the lateral column. Okay, let's go to the other side. He's got another one. He's got another one here. Same thing. Right? This is right here. It's like incredible. It's like a big rock. You see the 3-wee. What we use is 3-wee, and that really softens everything up really nicely. And this is where it's at right here. The metatarsal head is right here, and that's what's causing all of this, all of the callus. This is one case where more is not better, but to be very mindful that this skin, because it's so fragile and it's, for all these years, it's taken a beating, so to speak. We don't want to take too much off. I'm going to make other recommendations. I think he needs a new pair of custom molded shoes and orthotics as well. But these are, I don't think, you know, in a lot of these clinical presentations, I don't think the camera really does justice to what you guys see over there on the other side. But this is huge. It really is big. Try to walk on this. We should never take our feet for granted, right? Never. There's a saying, we don't walk on our hands, we walk on our feet. So we'll leave it at that. Nice and then, you know, chemically speaking, the urea is the way to go, the urea-based cream. And, you know, the truth of the matter is that he takes great care of his feet. Yeah, there was a hiccup. He lost his, you know, this toe and the ray, but frankly speaking, it wasn't his fault. It's a great case. You don't see these, you know, structurally speaking, you don't see this here a lot. This is, it's impressive. As always, www.gelspediatry.com, Instagram, Dr. Tojan, Gels Podiatry, Facebook, and last but not least, our YouTube channel, Gels Healthcare. A lot of people, will, you know, will ask, well, why don't you just sand it down? You know, sanding, or using the Dremel, or using, you know, any device just to reduce, causes thermal energy, right? Heat. So you can actually also burn the patient. You got to be very, very careful with these patients. It's like a porcelain doll. You know, it's very, very fragile, delicate. Always err on the safer side. Everyone, have a wonderful week. Make it a good one. Stay safe.